everyone, my name is Jenny. Welcome to my channel, Callie Jenny's Crafty Stitching, where I do talk primarily everything cross stitch with the occasional something different. So happy to have you here. Thank you so much for stopping by to check out my video and hang out with me today. We are going to be doing part 2 of my Dream Stitch haul. It's kind of hard to say haul when it's 2 items, but we're going to be doing part 2 of that. If this is your first time here, I hope you enjoy the video and check out that playlist. And consider becoming a part of the family, hitting that subscribe button, that notification bell. That way you are notified when I upload my videos. And to all my returning friends and family of this channel, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me again today. I hope everyone has an awesome day as you are watching this. And we are going to go ahead and get into this. Let me go ahead and get this open. It's going to be a little bit noisy. Again, this is from Dream Stitch. All the information will be in the description box down below, as well as a discount link, which I believe is just Amoro, A-M-O-R-O, to get 5% off your purchases. So let me go ahead and open this. It's going to be noisy. Okay, let me put this over here to the side. Let me see what we have here. Of course, we'll start out with our little tool bag. Got our little snippy scissors. Have quite a collection of those. Raise your hand if you do also. And we have our needles. These will, because this kit is another beaded kit, you will see that the needles are very thin. And let me see if I can get a good look. There, see how they're straight? The tops where the eyes are pretty much as small as the rest of the needle. Made specifically for beading because, again, this is another beaded. They are definitely very thin. You can see how small the eye of that needle is. Which is why you need one of these, because one of those other needle threaders with the little hooks on each end are not going to go through the eye of that. So you do need one of these. You just have to be very careful, because I couldn't tell you how many I've broke of these. I have learned to hold it here when I'm putting it through and pulling it back to try to not break it. Then they did give us 4 trays, just like in the last one, to put our beads in. All right. I don't know. I honestly, maybe when I get better, it'll be different. But as of right now, I don't see myself working on 4 different colored beads at a time. I will probably do 1 at a time. Just pour a few in. Look at this. I can't even get the bag open. Okay. Get all this back in here so I don't lose anything. Now, this is the one that I was telling you that Natalia over on Lovecraft Forever has already reviewed this one. I think it's been quite some time back at this point, and I believe has already started this one and done some stitch alongs. And let me find a picture here and move all this stuff out of the way. All right, and this one here. This is so beautiful. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to sit that here while I pull this up on the Dream Stitch website, just to remind myself. This one is called Landscape Pavilion Sunrise, 11 count pre-stamped canvas beaded cross stitch. It says it has 36 floss colors, and it is glass beads, which is why both those reasons, between the 11 count glass beads and matching color floss, is exactly why I got these. And a couple of the websites I looked at did not even have that option, but I did find them at Dream Stitch. All right, and then let's see, as you can see here, I'm just going to show you really quick. It's easier that way. Sorry for the glare. In US right now, it is $34.99. Extremely heavy kit, and just like with the last one, I don't know what the brand is. It just says Bead Stitch, and it doesn't say. If you guys know, you be sure to let me know and let everybody else know down in the comments. With Dream Stitch, it does say free shipping to most countries. It keeps moving. On orders over 50, 60, and 70 USD. I'm not sure why. There's different amounts for it. Fairy, Jalbai, brown products are sent out within 2 weeks, it says. Now, I could be wrong, and if you guys know, be sure also to let me know, and again, everybody else in the comments. But I don't think there is free shipping to the U.S. due to the tariff situation. So keep that in mind. Does it stop me from buying? No, it doesn't. It's quality products, so until and if it gets too ridiculous, I will continue. All right, so look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. So this picture is beautiful. Now, can you imagine that picture put together with the colored floss and the beads? It's gorgeous. Okay. All right, so let us go ahead. We're going to look at well, first we do have our paper chart here. It's two-sided. And as you can see, we got a little picture there. You could cut that out if you wanted to, put it in a logbook if you keep one. And it shows you here we do have 36 colors. I'm sure this will match the canvas. The last one did, but we'll check if I remember prior to, well, once I have it pulled out there. All right, let me just move all this stuff out of the way. And, yep, this does look like, well, I think it's the same one brand as the last one. I don't know. This one looks even a little bit different again, so I really don't know. Let's see. It is serged all the way around, so that's a plus. I feel like this one might actually have a little bit more edging around it. Not a lot, but little. Again, it is an 11 count. And for these, even though it's 11 count, you only use 2 strands of floss because you are using beads. You are doing half stitch. I guess you could do a full stitch if you feel like that makes it more secure. Just be aware that you may run out of floss because I think they supply the floss with the expectation you're going to do a half stitch. All right, we have our symbol legend here on the side. So let us go ahead and take a look. And yeah, it does match. Okay. All right, so you could just go by that if you wanted to. All right, and again, for anything you cannot read, you can pull out your Google Translate and it will clear it up. Again, I'm sure it's just like directions, either care directions or stitching. And of course, we got a pretty good sizable actually picture right here, a little picture of what it's going to look like. All right, let us take a look at a little bit closer, though I do want to say, just as in with the last one, again, this is another rough canvas. It does feel very rough and scratchy. However, at least it is serged all the way around, but just keep that in mind. Same as the last one. Okay, let us go ahead and get this a little closer. Let's see, how about one more? Take a look at these symbols here. I mean, no complaints on the symbols. It looks very clear, easy to read. Even with my eyeballs, it looks pretty clear. So that is actually very, very nice. I'm sure this canvas will soften up too as I work with it. Look at that, gorgeous. It really is beautiful printing. Can't complain about the printing. All right, sorry about that. Had a phone call that I had to take. I tried to just do a pause, but when you answer the phone, it takes it off pause. So here we are. All right, so as I was saying, pretty much the same as the other canvas. Let me zoom back out. The rendering, though, is, again, very good. Just like in the last one, you can see the flowers, you can see the mountains, you can see the little lodge, whatever it is over here. I mean, it is very well done. See the water running through. So the rendering is actually really good. I do, again, wish we had a little bit more of the edging along the sides of the picture and that the canvas wasn't quite so scratchy. But I would imagine it's still going to be absolutely gorgeous, and the printing is excellent. So no complaints there. All right, so let us flip this over. And again, use this little backdrop. And again, you can see the ink through this, but I think not quite as much as you could the one yesterday. But But let us go ahead and take a look at the floss for this one. Okay, and this kind of reminds me of the Mona Lisa brand, the way they do their floss. But look at those pretty colors. Look at that. Look at those pinks. Wow. So that is the floss for it. And I like having the colors to go with the beads to kind of help, fill in the look. And again, as I mentioned in the last one, with the clear floss or fishing line, whatever you want to call that stuff, yes, you don't have to change your floss at all, but it constantly wants to slip out of the eye. But again, I am going to try it when I'm not trying to film it. It might be easier that way. But anyway, that is our floss. It is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I'm not going to go one by one again, but you get the idea. It's very pretty. We got 36 colors, which I think that's going to be fine, especially with all these beads. All right, now the beads. Again, look at that. This is heavy. I can't even describe to you how heavy this is. All right, but that probably sounded really loud on camera, so I apologize for being so dramatic. All right, so let me see if I can figure out how to open this. See here, and I will probably do the same thing as I did with the last one, and I will just put these in a plastic bag. Oh, you know what? This one, the other one must have just been broke, because this one, look at oh no, this one's broke too. See, it's broke on the side here. Yeah, so I'll probably just put these all in a large Ziploc bag like I did the other one. Okay. So, just to take a quick look at these, and hopefully it doesn't pause out on me like the video did yesterday. And again, I didn't even tell you, as I'm filming this is Tuesday, October 14th. I started about 4:45 in the morning, as always. Not sure when these videos are going to come out, but there's a pretty green, some pretty orangey colors, which remind me of fall. Very pretty. Baby blue or powder blue. Hopefully the camera's picking it up well. Look how tiny these are. The little glass beads are beautiful. We got a lot of these, like a pretty golden yellow color. It actually looks like it's coming out a little brighter on camera than it is in person. It's a little more golden color in person. And the amber color ones are pretty true to color. Very pretty though. All right, some more blues and like a really pale yellow. I don't know how close we can get it without it going all blurry. Some really pretty greens. Look at that. Can you just imagine this on? Well, actually you can. Go check out Natalia's video. I know she's done a stitch on this. I know it. All right. Look at that. Let's see the iridescent colors on those. Some of them really do have beautiful iridescent coloring. Deep, deep red. Oh, so gorgeous. This one's almost a purple red. So pretty. All right. Oh my gosh. I love the pinks. Pinks are so pretty. Oh my goodness. These are just gorgeous. And again, these are in the Ziploc bags, so I really don't need to put these in the containers that I got. Doesn't mean I won't once I decide which one I'm going to do. Pretty. Oh my gosh, look at this purple. And this blue is like an iridescent blue. Look, see the rainbow colors on it? And then look at that purple. So pretty. And then, of course, we have almost like a clear white. So that's really going to make the floss pop. Very gorgeous. All right, a couple more pinks here. These are heavy. Just these individual bags are heavy. But look how pretty this pale, soft pink. This one's pretty pale too, but obviously a little darker. Another like baby blue, and I'm not even sure what color to call that. Kind of a sandy color, sort of. And then this one's a really interesting color. Look at this. That almost looks like cat eye green. That is very interesting. Okay, this one's another iridescent looking one. It has different colors on it. I love those. I love those that have that iridescent look to it. A couple more beautiful colors. This is like a, oh, what is it? Indigo? No, I can't think of the word that I'm trying to think of at the moment. That's what happens when you get old, folks. But it's a beautiful blue. And then beautiful iridescent pinks. And then our last two, this looks like 310, but it's not. It says 3, oh no, that's for the kit. I think this might be 310. I'll have to look it up. And then the last two there, absolutely gorgeous. Let me see if it says what this one is. Number 2, yeah, that's 310. Black, of course. All right, let us go ahead and take a look at a couple of these beads like we did in the last one. Get a look at how beautiful they are. Let's see. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. Far enough in there so you can get an idea, but look at how pretty those are. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all the iridescent color on there. Hopefully the camera's picking it up. It is beautiful. So pretty. All right, put that one back in. We'll take a look at another one before we wrap it up here. Hopefully I don't dump them everywhere because I poured a lot. All right, I think we did all right. Okay, I may, just because, especially because some of these bags are so heavy that have more in them, I am worried that they may wind up popping open. If, you know, when you keep using it, open, closing, it's going to weaken it and they may pop open and spill everywhere. So I very well may go ahead and put them in the containers I got. And I'm just talking about the containers like this that I got. I got these. I know these are primarily used, I think, for diamond painting, but I'm using them. I'm going to use them for beading. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, there's that minty green. So pretty. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that one. Also has the iridescent colors on it. Absolutely gorgeous. So, so pretty. So you get an idea what these little glass beads look like. They are very, very tiny. When you look at it in my hand, you can see they are very, very tiny, but they are very, very heavy. All right, do let me know. Again, I do think you can go see this one's being stitched on over on Love Crafts Forever's channel next to Positive, and you can see it in action. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I feel like it was worth the purchase. I do wish the canvas was a little bit better quality, but other than that, it's really great. The rendering is great. The printing's great. The beads are beautiful. The floss is beautiful. So let us just kind of move all this out of the way. I'm going to flip it over so we can just recap what we got. That, and I like to try to remember. I don't always, but I like to try to remember to take a picture so I can do a review on the website. For everybody, so everybody will be in the know of how it will look. Trying to get as much of this in here as possible. It's hard. Okay, so we got our beautiful rendering of our canvas. We got our floss. We got all of this. This is a lot of beads. All these beads. Look at this mountain of beads. We got our little toolkit with our little tube of needles. We got our chart, and again we got our picture of what this gorgeous piece is going to look like. All right, do let me know what you guys think. Again, I will have the links down below. Thank you again to Dream Stitch for carrying these items. Not everybody is offering these in the 11 count with the glass beads, so I appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing that. It was just what I was looking for. And for all of you who joined me again today, thank you so much for coming, hanging out, watching my video. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, if you would like to see future videos when I put them out. If everyone can hit that thumbs up button for me, regardless of whether you choose to subscribe or not, that just helps me out, helps other cross-stitch enthusiasts find their way to me. All right, everyone, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming by today. I hope everyone will be very safe, always be blessed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.